tomorrow, viewers, finally the IPL tournament for this year is going to start. It's not happening in India, yes, it's going to happen far, far away from our place, but obviously you and I can sit at home and watch it. Now, it got delayed by several months. There's a lot of excitement that's been building up. Tonight, I thought we should have a conversation of how IPL is going to be very different this time. Some of the challenges and some of the things that we may find very weird when we are watching the game, because the stands behind are going to be empty. There's not going to be any loud cheering that happens on ground. But here are some of the talking points that I will raise tonight, and I've got a power-packed panel for that as well. First, of course, is the squad composition challenge now. And I had a conversation with some of our in-house cricket experts, and they helped me, put this together. They said, well, the teams had picked their squads assuming the home and away concept, that you either play in your home stadium or in an away, stadium and a field. And keeping that in mind, usually your permutation and combinations are made. Now that that's not the setup, that we're playing in a completely different country altogether, does that get impacted? 3 stadiums, 56 matches. Is it a lot of load on these pitches, the 3 pitches that get used over and over again? Will there be wear and tear that has to be kept in mind? 24 matches, by the way, will be in Dubai, 20 matches will be in Abu Dhabi, and 12 matches will be held in Sharjah. Then is the one that I, as a cricket watcher, would say is the biggest one for me, is to see them play in empty stands. Thousands of cheering supporters, be it of any team, will not be present there, and I'm sure it will be a little odd even for the cricketers, or maybe they've mastered the art of zoning it out. I don't know. We'll ask our experts. There will be a constant corona scare. This will be the big one for the IPL team. So the cricketers, their coaches, their entire support staff, because while they are in they are going to be going into a bio bubble, but already in the training sessions we've got a couple of cases. The Chennai Super Kings has had a bit of a setback. What happens if somebody tests positive and that a team has to go into quarantine? What does that do to the tournament? Something I would want to know. And the one last thing, while yes, the teams have been now having some practice sessions, some matches within themselves in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, fact of the matter is that most of our players haven't played properly, regularly for almost 5 to 6 months. We don't know who's in form and who isn't. Is that going to be a problem? Let's get our experts in and say good evening to Hemang Badani, former international cricketer for India, joining us this evening. Atul Vasan, also a former cricketer. Charu Sharma, sports commentator. Vikram Sate, a cricket humorist, a comedian, with me this evening as well. And sports journalist with Sports Star currently, Mr. Vijay Lokpalli, also joining us this evening. Let me actually start with Atul on this one. Atul, let's begin with the last one. Will this be a factor, that the part that the cricketers haven't played a lot of cricket essentially in the last 6 months?
Well, actually, it was a long monologue. You have covered all the topics, even the ones which I had not thought about in IPL.
No, these are just the talking points. I still need your views on it.
I think it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a different kind of product this time. And I've always maintained that in IPL, cricket is part of the product. It's just not cricket. If we compare on what we have seen in the series in England just now, with West Indies and Australia playing, and Pakistan, there was a bio bubble created and there were no crowds. So it was quite odd at the beginning. But then in purest formats like Test cricket and ODIs, you focus on the cricket. But in IPL, without the crowds, which is also a big part of this product, is going to be a difficult task. Having said that, the players are a bit rusty. They are going to be in a bubble in that area only. And then the mental pressure is an aspect which is, we don't know how it's going to pan out. And we'll have to make the rules as we go along on that. So I think that's going to be huge, because the pressure of performing and just not beating your friends, not be able to, just relax a bit, go out for a meal or something. That's not going to be. You go stuck to your rooms. You are in that same kind of a cocoon. I think that's going to be a big load. But for me, I will take live sport any given day, because at this time I'm ready to see 2 dogs fight live. Because probably get out of this negativity of the Sushant Singh's unfortunate episode, and this is coming out of all our ears. So the focus will shift, and we'll see the players on the field. And I'm glad that the players are able to make some money at least in this season, which is looking like a watershed.
Okay, so at least the players will be able to make some money. I hope people still continue to watch relevant news that impacts their lives, though IPL or no IPL. But let me bring in Mr. Hemang Badani. Mr. Badani, how would the cricketers, be handling so many things that will play on their minds now, from COVID to being away from, friends and family, to not be able to go out even for a single hour and unwind? Will that impact their game? Mr. Hemang Badani, can you hear me?
Yeah, just about. I've got terrible signal issues, and I'm not able to hear you clearly. But can you repeat the question? I'm on the 35th floor of a hotel.
Let me just attempt that.
The Wi-Fi is spotty,
Yes.
and even the data is pretty sad here. I'm sorry about it. Can you go again?
No worries, Mr. Badani. That's the reality of COVID era now. We are all, linked up to our Wi-Fi's, and technology often gives up on us. My question to you, do you think, apart from cricket, there will be a lot of other factors that will play on a cricketer's mind, including COVID, staying in a bio bubble and playing without any spectators in the stadium?
Without a doubt, it's trying times for everybody. In fact, in the sense that a lot of players haven't really played for a little while. A lot of players really haven't been on the field for a little while. There's always this scare that even if I did play the game, if by chance will I get the COVID from somebody else, maybe an opposition, maybe the umpire, the referee, you're in contact with a lot of other people who are involved in the tournament. But having said it, I think the BCCI has taken, or at least tried to make sure that they try and plug in all the holes. Teams are in the bio bubbles. Teams are, in a way secure with the fact that they've got many tests done. They've got the isolation bed to start with. In fact, I, as a commentator, I'm in Bombay right now, and I've been in isolation for about 14 days. So I'm sure that the BCCI has tried to tighten everything, kind of making sure that nothing happens. But I'll tell you what, there's always probably that element of doubt for every player. That's the honest truth. Even with us, the broadcasters, you always have that like one little bit of a doubt in the head. But I'll tell you, they've done it all. The BCCI, even the Star Sports in our case, they've done it all. But yes, trying times, haven't played enough cricket, haven't been out there enough. The worry with the COVID, and also with regards to how this pans out with no crowds. It's a new thing that they'll have to get used to, because it's always nice to have your crowd backing you. It's always nice to have about 7 home games. This is going to be so much more different. Sides are used to their home venues. They've used the advantage of the home venues. They've done well at home. They pick sides keeping in mind that the IPL will be in India. But now they're going to be playing away from India in a different country altogether. Just the 3 venues in play right now. The wickets will slow down later. Neutral venues, there's no advantage. So things are in play. But I'll tell you one thing. The side that adapts well, the side that is ready to adapt and try and make those changes will be the side, if you ask me, that will do well.
Okay. Fair enough, and that will be interesting to see which side it is. Let me bring in Mr. Charu Sharma as well. Charu, just talking a little bit more about the constraints of COVID and a bio bubble. The first tournament that was held between 2 countries, we saw Jofra Archer try and break away from those rules and just drop by home, and that became a big controversy. So obviously it's something that the players will find difficult to follow and could play on their minds.
Well, without doubt. I mean, on one hand, Tanvi, you can say that and believe that all the cricketers playing in the IPL are thorough, hard-boiled professionals, especially the seniors. Well, a few of the younger ones might be a little befuddled about what's going on. But on one hand, they're thorough professionals who can play anywhere, anytime, under any circumstances, because they know the tools of the trade is simply performance, not all the rest of the peripherals. But yeah, especially those who are not used to bio bubbles, and I suspect 80 to 90% of the players in the IPL are not used to them. Only the ones coming from England and the Australians, because some West Indians are used to it, will be quite befuddled by the fact that, okay, 1 week, 2 weeks, we're without any other company except our own. But for a couple of months, 2.5 months, it can really get to people. I have no doubt that the IPL, being as well funded as it is in terms of all the team owners as well, will take every possible precaution. One, of course, we've seen videos of their bio bubbles. It's a majestic bubble. Let me tell you, it's not like it's not like solitary confinement. It's pretty well provided for. And I'm sure that they'll have team psychologists and various other people who can soften the nerves of these thoroughbreds. Because let me, as we all know, high-performance sports persons are like thoroughbreds. Any little thing can throw them off. And if it throws them off, then the performance suffers. So I'm sure there'll be a nice cocoon built around all the teams for them to ensure that that aspect doesn't hurt them. Many other things will. I mean, the Indian cricketers haven't played competitive cricket for quite a while. People are coming in from all directions. It will take time for the cricket to settle down. But I'm sure those involved with the game will be only too happy that there is an IPL, because you might argue that commercially it might be a lower value than the past, but it's still a very good value. And the board may or may not have wanted to do it this year because of various obvious concerns, because cricket's a very soft target. Should something go wrong, God forbid, people will climb on the back of the whole cricket brigade. But I think there was enormous pressure from the team owners to have some sort of IPL going. And they'll all be happy. The players, of course, will be delighted.
Yes, and we have to keep that in mind as well, Mr. Vikram Sathe, isn't it? That the players haven't had much to do in the past 6 months. They get to not just earn a little money, but they get to do what they love doing the most, which is play cricket, isn't it? Vikram, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What was I'm not getting a clear question, but what did you say? Can you just repeat the last line?
No, I was just saying, yes, at the end of the day, there will be a concern and probably people waiting to jump, and attack cricketers in IPL for if there is a case that happens. But at the end of the day, it is good that cricketers get to play some cricket that they haven't managed to in 6 months.
Oh, without any doubt. I mean, all the players that I have spoken to, they're just waiting and waiting for a long time. But, they're subconsciously, there is still a worry for COVID. And I am really worried that, the first slip and the second slip will be constantly looking suspiciously at each other during the match for sure. But it's going to be a challenge. I can't believe the Australians and people like Chris Gayle will be in one room for 3 months. I mean, it is just impossible to just visualize Chris Gayle in a room for 3 months. So I really do believe that the mental side will come into play. And, my observation as a cricket observer is there are two kinds of cricketers. People who take energy from the outside, the Aussies, the Virat Kohlis, the Chris Gayles. These are the guys probably who will feel a little bit more. But there are some cricketers who are in their own zone and take energy from the inside. And those cricketers will, I think, be able to manage it much better. And all those guys are going to take it, they've got to figure out how to keep themselves motivated for such a long time. And I really do believe, I'm really, really happy that cricket has finally started. IPL is the backbone of this, country. I was hearing about the farmers issue right now. 50% of India agriculture takes care of in terms of employment. 50% of us in the cricket world, IPL takes care of us. And my house in Pune is also called IPL Krupa. So from an employment point of view, I can assure you that it's a great thing right now.
Okay, point well made, Mr. Vijay Lokpalli. Do you want to add to that? It's not just the cricketers, but an entire ecosystem, that is going to be excited that IPL is back.
I think
Well, technology is nobody's friend here, let me assure you.
No, it's ruining my Friday night for sure on Urban Debate. Yes. Atul, if I can. Okay, let me just try. Mr. Vijay Lokpali, can you hear me? Can you do?
Yes, can you hear me
I'm not
now?
too sure if we have your feed.
No, no, I'm able to hear you.
Yes, go ahead,
Uh,
please.
what I was saying is, once the tournament begins, I'm sure bio bubble this has been taken care of. There is no worry on that account, and I'm sure once the game starts, the players are not going to worry whether there's anyone watching in the stands or not, because they will be looking at their performance. The batsman will be looking at the bowler, and the bowler will be worried about what the batsman is going to do. So yes, crowds add to the excitement of any sport, and IPL especially. It's such an entertaining, what should I say, property which the BCCI has developed. But it is not the first time. Most of these players are used to playing cricket in front of nobody when they play the domestic cricket, and also they have prepared themselves well. I'm not at all worried about anyone catching COVID, because as Vikram was expressing his apprehensions, that will not be the worry at all. Let us look forward to some exciting cricket from these players, because they also know they have a role to play. They know the spectators are watching them, and they will have to deliver. They have also waited, they've also prepared, and they've all left homes. They've taken the risk of going to Sharjah, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi. So I expect them to give their best. So let us hope, and let us hope we'll get to see some good T20 games.
Okay, Atul, would you agree that does it not matter at all, or does it matter to some extent when you play with empty stands?
It does matter because players sometimes feed on the kind of support. That's why the home and away advantage is such a big thing, because you get your supporters behind you. We have seen the Barmy Army go to Australia and cheer up the team, and sometimes it really works because. But once the player starts playing in a game, and when I'm starting to bowl or bat, then everything just fades around it. You only have these switch on, switch off techniques. But when there is no switch off, because there is the ambient sound is not there in the stadium. It might just be something which some of the players might miss because that eggs them on. Somebody takes his performance to the next level just because of the atmosphere. But some players who are very mentally strong and they can manage without these kind of artificial boosters also. But the main thing will be the heat and the humidity of the place, and even inside the UAE. There are COVID protocols because they'll be crossing from Dubai to Abu Dhabi, which are different Emirates. So I think that's an issue, and all the teams are playing at all the grounds. The conditions somewhat are different. Also, Sharjah is fast and pacey and a small ground, so I see they might be high scores there. You talked about the rotation of pitches. Let me tell you, all the grounds have got a big square, and the pitches will be rotated over and over again. You can't be playing on the same strip. So I think that'll be a task for the groundsmen to keep them fresh. As the tournament will progress, it'll get cooler also. So but the wickets will get sluggish. So it's a test because in India when you play, the conditions are different. When you play in Chinnaswamy in Bangalore or Chennai, Chepauk or Mumbai, the different conditions. When you come to Kotla, this low. So players have to adapt. Like when we go to Australia, New Zealand, players adapt. So I think these are hardcore professionals, as Charu put it very nicely, and they'll have to adapt to all these new things, the pitches, the conditions, and the condition without the spectators egging them on. They have to just, erase it from the mind and just get the job done.
So let me ask you this question, and do you think there is a certain team right now which would probably have a bigger advantage in the conditions which are over there than what would have been here in India?
Oh, is it for me?
Yes, Atul.
Oh, I don't think so.
Me?
I think somewhat, if you see the empirical data of last 12, 13 years, you can see that some teams, no matter what kind of conditions are there, they just still manage to come on top. And that has got a lot to do with the comfort level. Like Mumbai Indians, they have struggled initially, but, the comfort given by the owners by providing a coach, assistant coach, an assistant to the assistant coach, then a bat boy, and an assistant bat boy to the bat boy. So that when players and some teams have always been changing hands, the owners are running away, there are scams going on and being sold over and over again. Some owners desperate to sell it, get the equity back. So, that percolates down to the team's mentality also. And that's why those teams have not won. Kings 11, another case. RCB, the issues with these teams. Delhi Capitals, another issue. So teams which are more stable are the ones which have got robust owners, like KKR, always been the same. And they've got a system where the confidence level, the safety net is down to the players and to the support staff, and the performance is delivered by the players. So it's not the conditions, it's the kind of environment created by the owners and the team system that makes a team click.
No, fair enough. Absolutely. There are multiple factors at play, including, how your leader brings the entire team together, the kind of motivation that happens, the kind of practice they've had, additional factors that may be playing on their minds. For example, Hemang, Chennai Super Kings had a bit of a setback in the initial days itself when, a couple of the staff members and a cricketer tested positive. Now, having that kind of a thing play on your minds can get difficult. And I know it because in the initial few weeks when we were trying to figure out how to constantly, continuously bring news to people, even in these times, this was playing in the minds of our team members who were out there on the floor working day in, day out. So it does, have an impact. Do you believe there is a certain team, the way it's structured right now, which would perhaps be able to do a better job at handling this?
Well, I do believe that first and foremost, as I mentioned earlier, it's about how you can adapt to the new way of living, the new norm right now. And just to come back to the earlier thing that you were talking about, isolation and how players would handle it. Now, I, for one, am in a bubble right now, and I know for a fact that the first week, and it was a self-isolation. The first week was a self-isolation, and that's exactly what the players have gone through themselves for the first week. You cannot go to your neighbor's room. You can't go to your colleague's room. You can't catch up with your friends. You can't sit and have a meal or have a drink with them, chit chat with them. And I'll tell you from experience, I am somebody who's gone through the bubble right now. For the first 7 days, I'm not kidding, it's a killer. You really can't go anywhere. You're within your four walls. You're just by yourself. You're trying to occupy yourself by reading something, watching some Netflix and watching some television. There's no housekeeping. The food is kept outside. It's as good as a five-star jail. The food is left outside at your door. Once the person leaves, you open the door, pick your food, have your meal, again leave it outside your door. Water is kept outside your door. They can't come inside. They can't service your room. They can't clean your room. You're just within four walls. There's no fresh air. It's air-conditioned air 24/7 for 7 days. And at the same time, you're going to have to maintain your room, do your bit of housekeeping. It's not easy. I mean, end of the day, we all talk about cricket as being tough, cricket as being human. All of that is fair. I'm not debating any of that. But I tell you, this 7 days was not easy. And that's exactly what happened to Suresh Raina. He was struggling at some point and he said that, you know what, I can't take this. And I can understand that because a lot of us are talking from the outside world, from the outside perspective. We are going through this. And I'll tell you what, just the day before we were given freedom to step outside. When I say step outside, we can't still step outside the room. I mean, outside the hotel. But we can just step outside the room, maybe go to a colleague's room, spend a little bit of time there, go to the poolside, get some fresh air. That little bit of fresh air was so refreshing, I cannot tell you. So it's not easy at all. It's very easy for anyone to just sit outside and have a conversation saying, oh, it's very easy, it's not tough. Players are tough. Players are used to being tough and used to being in tougher conditions, can handle things. But this is something no one has handled ever. Has anyone ever sat in the houses for 7 days doing nothing? Unless you were sick, you would step out for something at least for a breather, meet a friend, buy something, go to office, go to work, or go to play cricket. In the case of a cricketer, in the case of a coach, you go to coach the kids. You were not sitting at home. Imagine 7 days all in all in the room by yourself. I'll tell you, it wasn't easy for me. And I've spoken to a lot of players. They've said the same thing, that we've somehow managed it, but we didn't like it. And going forward also, bear in mind, they still can't leave the hotel. They are going to be in the hotel. And one of the panelists mentioned that I think it was Vikram. And I thought it was fair to mention that a lot of players are used to stepping out, are used to at least meeting friends, going out somewhere, maybe to a mall, maybe to a theater, meeting a friend in that city. You can't do any of that. It's something that we are used to as cricketers, and it's something that we are used to in the previous normal life, and now it's a new normal. So I'll tell you, no matter what we say, yes, the IPL will go on. Yes, IPL will be a success. I'll accept all of that. But I can assure you, whatever the players are going through right now is something new they haven't experienced. It's a journey for them. It's a new journey for them.
Okay, nobody is taking my weight of naming one team over the other, but I will say this, Hemang, what you've described to us has been extremely helpful in trying to understand what would be happening even in the minds of the cricketers. So let me ask Charu Sharma this. Charu, basis what Hemang has just told us and how the setup would be, do you think Virat's team could manage it better or Dhoni's?
Well, I'm the wrongest person to ask that because RCB have a Sharma curse which they haven't been able to get over for the last 12 seasons. So maybe not RCB, but I mean, Dhoni's team, CSK, have always come up with something very special, even though now they're missing two of their stalwarts. And remember, if Indian national players are missing from a team, that's a real setback because at least 7 of the players are, big-time Indian players. And to have 2 of certain players, or dead certs as we call them, certain to be in the 11, not there for CSK, I think they will hurt. And I mean, they might recover, but you're asking about team winning. I really, I'm desperately seeking in the IPL for a new team to win, a new winner, for heaven's sake. Is it going to happen? Well, T20 is a bit of a toss of a coin. I mean, it may actually happen. Matches are lost by a run here or a wicket there or a ball here, then the other. So if this whole UAE IPL and the quarantining and all the, should we say, questionable factors that affect cricket could further even the 8 teams. I mean, already, of course, T20 evens it out, but the conditions may even things out further. So expect a surprise because I don't think the traditionally good teams are likely to have it better because there is no home condition, there are no crowds. We've talked about many of the factors that affect cricket, and I think it's going to be a very, very even contest, which, by the way, is great for viewership and everything else because you never know who's going to get into the final 4 and who will eventually take the title. But I would like to know from Vikram if his name, the name of his home in Pune is IPL Kripa. I might someday get a home as well. What's the opposite of that? What can I name it as an opposite, Vikram?
There is no opposite league that is that strong to give you a house.
Well, I'm just kidding, but for obvious reasons. But Tanvi, I do think that it's time for a new team to win because the leagues are only as good at times as the spread, the equality of the teams. You can't have 2 or 3 teams winning all the time. Let me assure you, it gets a little boring after a while. And the supporters and the fans are of many categories. There's not just one cricket fan. There are the pundits, and there are the committed fans. There are the fantasy game type fans, and there are a whole lot of fans that just watch it because other people are watching it. And now at the ground, if there's nobody, it's quite likely that the essence of the IPL in India is the crowd, the color, the noise, and all that's going to be missing. So a lot of casual fans, we believe that television might be a blockbuster, rating season. But a lot of the casual fans may not have enough for them because, I mean, the cricket is almost incidental for a large number of casual fans. So, well, that's another story, though. But I hope a new team wins.
Well, you talk about hoping for great viewership. That doesn't always sound good news for news channels. But that being said, I am as excited as you are, Charu, about the fact that maybe this one would be even more unpredictable and full of twists and turns. So let's wait and watch for that. But if I could ask Mr. Vijay Lokpalli to come in on the other aspect that we raised about the unpredictability of it, the way the squads were designed, keeping home and away in mind, the conditions being changed. Does it make it tricky for a few teams, Mr. Vijay Lokpalli?
Yeah, even if it makes it tricky, they will have to adapt. Like Atul has been insisting, they will adapt because they are professionals. They are used to playing in all conditions, all kinds of pitches, and they all know. I mean, it was known. It is not that suddenly it has dawned upon them that they'll have to go and play in UAE. Yes, if if CSK had picked some players keeping in mind home and away, so has Mumbai Indians, so has Delhi Capital. So it applies to every team. And I'm sure these players are so very professional, they're getting so very well paid. They will endure any kind of isolation, whether it is for 15 days or 1 month. I mean, look at what they did in England. They were in isolation for 1 month before the series. So here it's only 15 days. So isolation is fine. They will have to endure it because they have to. It is part of the new normal now. So I expect them to adapt, and I will not be surprised to see that we will get some very exciting matches. And like yes, Charu has been saying, it will be good to see a new team. Yes, fans want a new team, but then ultimately the best team, you have to be a very good team to win.
So, you're right about this fact that they will have to, and this is the way life is for everybody, and they will have to work around it as well. But what also I'm trying to understand is what happens, and I hope it doesn't, that somebody does get infected with COVID. What happens then, Mr. Vijay Lokpalli? Has that been factored in, the rules and regulations and in the plan?
Obviously, it has been factored in. There is a whole team of there's the doctors who have gone into it. There are science involved, and if you see, similar apprehensions were there before the COVID series in England, but nothing happened. And once you are in the bio bubble, nobody from outside is allowed to come in. So you are as secure as anyone. So I'm sure every player who is there in bio bubble in UAE is COVID free. Whether it's the umpire, no outsider is going to get in touch with them. Not even even the what do you call the staff, hotel staff, housekeeping staff. Even that has gone through isolation. They are not in touch connection with anyone from the outside world. So it's a very it may look from outside, yes, I agree with Hemang, he's finding it very tough, but it's a very cozy, like Charu said, it's a very cozy, it's a very nice bubble to be, and you have all the comforts. There are, you may not be able to go out of the room, but yes, there are any number of entertainment available to them. I've also been talking to the players. Initially, they had problems, but they're now settled very nicely. They're all geared up, looking forward to play the IPL and set an example for the cricket fans in India. They also know that fans are waiting for them to perform. They are very, very excited to go out and play. Whether crowds are there or not doesn't matter because they know this game is going to be followed on television across the world.
Okay, but because this scenario keeps playing in my head, and I hope you're right that the bio bubble is so strong and so safe that coronavirus doesn't manage to creep in, because even if one person gets infected, that team may have to then go into quarantine, and then I don't know what happens to their schedule and to their matches, so that could get tricky. But let's talk about another aspect that I had raised initially, and that was to do with the kind of pitches, squad combination that we have currently, and how that would change. And as the season progresses, would that become a clear factor as well, Atul, in who may get ahead and who may fall behind? Like Charu said, perhaps it may not be the usual strong teams who actually emerge a leader in this tournament.
See, the crux of the matter is that the great players are great players because they become legends because they have got a better mental strength. Here, if you've got the players who can handle this kind of pressure, living on your own and all that, but this pressure is, and this problem is even for all the players. It's not as if a team going from India to Australia will struggle because we've brought up on slow, sluggish pitches, then suddenly the bounce effect. So half the team has got advantage, half of the team playing in a match is disadvantage. Here, everybody has got the same kind of disadvantage. So then the mental strength of a player is the main focus. And I think if you see the conditions, so I'm sure the players who have been there, done it, got the T-shirt will always be coming on top. Rather than the players, even if you see tennis, Federer and Djokovic and Nadal come out in spite of their age and everything, they just managed to go through a game with making less errors and all because of their mental strength. But these three grounds, Sheikh Zayed Stadium is open from the sides, so there's a lot of cool breeze going. We saw Afghanistan last time India played in Asia Cup in Sharjah, and Afghanistan did wonderfully well because of spinners, and they took the advantage of the situation and they played a lot. in Abu Dhabi. And if you go to Sharjah, it's like a small ground, and it's going to be humid. Sharjah is much drier. So the condition different. And Dubai International Stadium is a slow, sluggish pitch. We saw low-scoring games there in Asia Cup, and when the heat is there. So we are in middle of a very hot. This is just the end of the summer in Dubai. The summers in Dubai end later than normal. So there's a lot of humidity, a lot of humus, as they say, and it's very stifling for the players. So even in these three grounds, the conditions are going to be quite different. In Sheikh Zayed, there is in Abu Dhabi there is a lot of dew. You won't see much dew in Sharjah. So players will eventually, after a few games, will know how to do and what to do.
Yes, because for example, the slower pitches and the slower scoring grounds may benefit teams like Hyderabad or Chennai. But then, like you said, the other grounds are different, and that could benefit any other team. So, Hemang, what's your own sense of how it plays out and how it stacks up for the various IPL teams right now?
Well, first and foremost for me, Tanvi, is that it's about which side adapts to the new situation, the new venues, and how they go about it. Because it's the same for everyone. It's not something that it's specific to one side. And I think also what will happen is that the side that does well to me will be also a side which is kind of well looked after by the management. The mental well-being of the players also will come into play. We speak a lot about cricket. We speak a lot about them going on the field and getting runs and practicing and all of that. Yes, I accept all of that. But there is this part of the mental well-being of all the players that can be challenging in these times. For a fact, one of the star players of CSK could not handle it. He had to go back. 2 months to go. We've almost got about 55, 60 days more to go. And there could be a time when you can feel that it's a bit stifling in the room. It's a bit uneasy to keep staying in the room, staying in the hotel all the time. Yes, it's a 5-star hotel. Yes, it's got all the comforts, but we humans like a few other things also. We like to step out. We like to move around, get some fresh air. And when you know for a fact that you can't do all of that, that itself, the very fact that that restriction is there in play, you feel a little uneasy about it. And to me, it's about the well-being of a side. It's about how they are looked after. And that will kind of, in a way, get onto the field. And that's when that person, when I'm feeling good about myself, when I'm feeling comfortable in my skin, I'm going to go out there and perform. I'm going to not think about anything else. But at the same time, if I've got some issues in my head with regards to the COVID, with regards to the bubble, with regards to me not being able to step out, then I'm not going to be the same Hemang Madani playing the cricket match. I'm worried about other things than the cricket match itself. And that will affect the side. So adaptability, well-being of a side, very, very important. Yes, the wickets will get slower and slower, but that again is the same for everyone. A certain wicket in Abu Dhabi might play differently, and Sharjah it might play differently. So is the case in Dubai. But all sides are going to be playing and moving around. So it's not something different or something that one side has to encounter. But for me, the one thing is about the mental well-being. And another thing that we kind of tend to forget is that the players have been practicing. Yes, no debating that. But there is something called match fitness. I'll tell you, when I start off a season, after an off-season, even though I've trained hard, even though I've practiced hard, even though I batted in the off-season, worked on a certain few skill sets, worked on my game, but the first few games when I play, I feel sore, I get DOMS. It's delayed muscle syndrome, onset muscle syndrome, which comes into play. None of these players have played any cricket. They have not played any match. When I say cricket, I'm referring to a match. Getting onto the field, playing a match by itself is another dimension to itself. Some of the players have played in the CPL. Some have played in England and Australian side, which were played in the UK. But primarily, about 80% of the Indian boys are people who have not played any cricket. As it is, a lot of the younger boys will feel the heat of playing the IPL. To add to it the bubble, to add to it the COVID, to add to it the fact that they haven't played a match for a little while. It's not going to be easy. The side, again, as I keep repeating, the side which adapts to all this, at the end of the day, the side which is mentally in good shape will be the side which will do well.
Okay, let's also get in a word from the fans and from the viewers who will also be looking forward very excitedly for what happens starting tomorrow. I've got Mr. Vineet Venugopal on the phone line. Good evening to you, Vineet. Go ahead, please.
Can I share my views now? Next year,
Yes, go ahead, please. What would you like to say?
IPL season is set to commence tomorrow with a match between Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians. Last year, these two teams met in the final, and it was a nerve-wracking contest, and Mumbai Indians emerged winner by a slender margin of 1 run. And Rohit Lasith Malinga delivered the killer blow. And Rohit Sharma, with his astute captaincy, led from the front. And the second thing I want to say, Sharjah holds a special memory in the minds of all the cricket fans. Who will forget the innings played by Tendulkar in the 1998 Sharjah Cup? He played two magnificent innings, 143 in the final and 134 in the league match. And who will forget those innings? And who will forget the commentary of Tony Greig? And the next thing is, I think the empty stands won't have any impact on the match. It will not affect the match in any way because Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians are the two most successful teams in IPL. Actually, Mumbai Indians has won the title 4 times. Chennai Super Kings has won the title 3 times. So it is everybody will be glued to a television set tomorrow to watch this contest because they are the two most successful teams in the IPL. Also,
okay, Vineet, I like your enthusiasm. I also love how you remember, such great details. You're definitely ready for a cricket quiz someday for sure. But keep up with that enthusiasm. Thank you for calling us, Binesh Divakar from Mumbai. Let's hear out what a Mumbai Indian fan has to say. Good evening to you, Binesh.
Good evening. My thing is why can't they keep people from the family and the board of directors in the stadium? It is a huge stadium. At least somebody is there to do something for them. The players will be happy to see them and do something for them. That will be a good thing, right?
Okay. Fair, interesting point, Binesh. Thank you for calling. Let me actually take that across to our panelists. Charu, do you want to comment on this? Maybe at least a few spectators in the stadium, friends and family, somebody to cheer them on, social distancing kept in mind.
Without question. I think the IPL authorities are being very, very ultra safe. And you can't blame them because, as I mentioned earlier, one, God forbid, negative element here, or should be in COVID's case, a positive element. And a lot of people will swoop down on the IPL saying, well, it should never have been held and these guys are elitist and, they've thrown all sorts of restrictions out of the way. So I think they're being excessively careful. It's not that the entire IPL is likely to go on this way. I think some relaxations may be allowed. And also remember that whether it's friends or family or anybody else, you are talking about people in a very heavy state of bio bubbles. Now, if the friends and family, like, for instance, in the UK tours, friends and family are allowed for the teams that have gone in there. If there's a heavy quarantine as well, maybe it will be allowed in the future. But also, let's not forget that the UAE authorities are themselves a little skittish, a little apprehensive, a little nervous about the whole thing because they don't want sort of a continuing epidemic in the UAE either because of, allowing people to come in and out a little more loosely, should we say. So the quarantine aspect is still very strong and the biobubble aspect, which will, I think, is necessary. That is more necessary than to allow a few friends and family. I think the gentleman was absolutely right. It does inspire people to have near and dear around, but I think they will understand that to be more careful is perhaps a better option right now than to cater to the needs of having friends and family around. So I completely go with that.
Okay, very quickly, let me go across to Vikram. Vikram, what about the missing spectators? The spectators, and by that I mean about us missing out on the fun of going to the stadium. That's going to be a tough one for the cricket fans as well.
I think the cricket fans will take anything right now. They just want to watch cricket, and I was speaking to some of the players. They're extremely happy. There's a lighter side to this. They're saying that this time we are very happy because nobody is going to call us for passes. So they are saying that we are pretty chilled out. But, taking Hemang's point, I must say that there's a very interesting statement made by Andy Flower today. And he says that any team who will be able to communicate well with their people during this period would be more successful. So the most important aspect will be the coaches and the captains, and therefore MI and CSK, Rohit Sharma and MS Dhoni, the calmer captains, I think, will perform better during the IPL, is what I think. But yeah, fans missing out on the stadiums is going to happen, but everybody is at home. Everybody understands the gravity of the situation. Dubai cases are growing. Abu Dhabi cases are growing. So I don't see the authorities immediately allowing people to come to the stadium. Philosophically, yes, we may want to have fans, but there is a reality out there. There is a responsibility of the Dubai government to give a good IPL to BCCI. So I think it's going to be a very, very strategic country-to-country decision, and it's not going to happen easily. But they are talking about having, people coming in the second part of the IPL.
Well, exactly. Tanvi, can I very quickly add? I know you're running out of time.
I know.
Do I have a few seconds?
No, please go ahead. Yeah.
Just very quickly. Atul mentioned this very specifically. Hemang also touched upon this, alluded to it. But one of the big keys, the secret of success of doing well in the IPL is how the team ownership treats their side. I talk about the early days where some of the owners were saying, oh, we bought these players, now we own them and we can make them do whatever we want. I mean, that was the opening attitude. Of course, it's improved since then. But the big key of succeeding, and of course, Vikram just mentioned Andy Flower talking about communication. The biggest key is allowing the team to blossom and flower on its own, rather than the team ownership bearing down very heavily on you've got to win, you must win, you have to do that, and you have to do that. I think there are some team owners that keep very far away from the team and allow the cricket operations people to run the team in a nice, smooth, happy fashion without undue pressure. And that finally is what makes the difference. And that is why some teams have been winning and some teams haven't.
But, Charu, I just one point. Charu, what you're saying is right, but I think the players have become so sharp at handling the owners over the years. Because if you look at CSK, the CSK owners never interfere. I mean, Srinivasan doesn't even come for a game. But the Mumbai Indians owners are always there at the game. But both captains are successful. So I think the players are also kind of getting a sense of how to manage the owners. And I think that's a great learning from IPL.
I hope so.
Okay, thank you so much for that, guys. We will wait and watch who emerges the winner, which team is able to handle the pressure better, especially the unseen ones, the new ones that are going to be coming their way. And I hope it's going to be an exciting tournament. Thank you so much to all of our panelists for joining us on this special conversation, and to the viewers who actually called. I'm sorry I ran out of time, couldn't take more phone calls. But that being said, at least we've begun with the tournament. At least cricket will happen. That's good news for the cricketers who are there. Unprecedented times, yes, but we have to learn with COVID. We have to find different ways of going on, living our lives, and this is going to be a great example of that. Thank you for joining us on this conversation.